And we're live. Why do I look weird, Bryce? I'm not even on camera. All I see is the... Yeah, all we see is the mic pole.
I think that was intentional.
Yeah, I don't know if I like that.
Well, it's the only way to get it where the mic's not both in your face.
Yeah, well, Chris has it like 10 feet high for some reason. You didn't bring it down and bring it up.
Like this.
Yeah.
1, 2.
No, you bring it down and then up. But not too far. Don't break it.
6 are easily
Yeah,
replaceable.
don't go. Just go parallel, just like this. That's how you do it.
Okay. There we go.
And keep it close.
Audio engineers
Keep it
chime
tight.
in and tell us how wrong all this is.
No, that's right. You're just wrong. I'm always right. What's up, people? It's another week. This week went by fast. Fast. Yeah. Because I've been detailing some crap and getting blood hands and we pushing Jeff's Mustang out and just leaving it on the curb because it's we're doing a whole suspension and everything. Nothing's gonna work. So yeah, it's been a little bit of a week.
Busy week. Busy. So, let's jump into a couple questions here about that.
Good, because I got nothing to say.
Let's see, Sean here in the chat. Good day, OG crew. How's it going? Filling the orders from the cap sale. When do you expect to have them all sent out? And are you satisfied with the fulfillment capacity?
No, I've had my dad had yelling at everybody yesterday. It was perfect. So we're just identifying. The whole point of this was to identify efficiencies, and so I hired all these people, and now I'm asking them to step up. So I think we're working tomorrow, and so no, we're seeing a slight increase, but I wanted to see 100% increase. And what was your statistics? 26%.
29% in terms of actual numbers, and 63% in terms of boxes or packages sent.
Yeah, so we're off from. I wanted to see at least a doubling capacity, and we're not there. So we're gonna assess and figure out is it we need to move faster? What do we need to do to make this capacity bigger? So I don't want to have it now. I screwed this thing up because I didn't think about it. It was Labor Day weekend. Again, I had no idea. I'm like, let's just have a sale. I want to have a sale in order to test capacity, and it worked out. It was Labor Day weekend, and then we had an extra day off. So now put those who ordered Friday probably aren't getting shipped until Tuesday, Wednesday. And that's no good. So anyway, we're figuring it out, and just be patient, and we'll get everything out to you. We're not sitting around. But we're kind of looking at this as an opportunity to figure out. We had, how many orders do we have? Like 1,400 orders or something like that.
1,475 over the 4 days.
Yeah, and 571,000 in sales, and so not too darn shabby. I didn't know if we'd do 50 grand a day. I thought that would have been great, but we did way more than that. So it's awesome. So
yeah, the first day was 263,000 in one day.
Yeah.
Alone there.
Yeah, so now we'll see and assess, and do I need more people? Do I need more efficiencies? What do we need to do to make it more efficient? It's not as simple as people think it is. It's not that simple. You don't just pay for Amazon fulfillment technology when you're a small company. It doesn't work that way. It's kind of a backward system. It's like you need a financial advisor when you don't have any money, but you get one when you have it. And so we need systems and processes and help when you don't have any money to pay for it. But so you have to figure it out yourself. And so that's what we're doing.
All right, we have a question here about your adventures last weekend from Kale in the chat here. I saw where Jeff and Bryce went mountain biking. Did they bring the multiple girlfriends as well? So, were there any girls there or no girls?
Girlfriends.
Yeah, remember last week we talked about Bryce couldn't go because he had 3 girlfriends.
Oh, yeah. No girlfriends were present. None that I've ever seen and that I'm made aware of. Yeah, we went out, and Jeff almost died about 4 times. He was walking a couple of times, off the bike. And Bryce did pretty well, but I pedaled about 35 to maybe 50%, and was leaving them. So Fat Dad, is legit, and I'm not legit. So that just means they suck. So, but it was fun. It was good. I mean, it was the first time either of them had ever been on out there at Santos or on any significant. They're not. It's not mountain biking. It's trail riding. I mean, they're just trails. And so one of these days I'll get a GoPro out there and show you what it's like. But they're awesome trails. But there's some technical stuff, but we kind of stay away from all that stuff there. And I took them, drove, we rode through the vortex just to show them what that looks like. Have you ever been out there? You ever been in the vortex?
No, I drive by it every day on the way to work. But
yeah, it's cool. It's pretty impressive. You just ride down through it. You don't, and then people are very rarely actually using it. There's all these cliffs and stuff. I don't know if there's just a bunch of sinkholes or what or why it's there, but it's cool.
Let's see. Jeff, our buddy Jeff in Oregon. Greetings from Oregon. Is that a Little Debbie smoothie? No, it's just water, Jeff. But we do have, I did set those aside for you over there. Got some zebras in case you need it halfway through here. Matt suggested in the chat here, space has got to be a limiting factor too. New building will help. Maybe. We'll see. The part of it too was Matt just sort of like this wasn't planned months in advance where we could prepare for it and get enough inventory and do that sort of thing. So that
I don't like that.
Yeah.
I like to keep everybody on their toes.
Let's see. More praise for your OG pillow recommendation here from Mike.
Yeah, it's good. I've finally got my king size version.
Yeah, how's that working out?
It's great. Yeah. The problem is Michelle threw away all our king size pillowcases, so I had to order whole new sheets. And so I needed an extra set anyway. So the Tempur-Pedic sheets, if you're looking for a sheet recommendation. So I don't like, what are those Tempur-Pedic mattresses? We got one of them and punted in the trash immediately. Like, that thing's terrible. And, they say you just got to get used to it. It was terrible. It's like, it's the most comfortable thing, and you sink down and you hit like brick. And you just sit on brick. Because it like settles in, contours your body, and then you're laying on like a brick wall. And so I don't like that. And so we got like a really soft, plush mattress. It's a Beauty Rest something or other. And so it has like the memory foam pillow top, but it's like a hybrid. And so the problem with it, it's real tall. It's like, it's 18 inches tall or 17 inches tall or something. So most sheets don't work. And so Tempur-Pedic sheets have like they have a strap on the corner, so it keeps it tauter than others. But you can't buy the best ones because I literally wore through it in like 2 nights. Because I'm flopping around like a dolphin out of water. It's like I'm spinning around. And so that really soft, memory foam top, and then me like digging my elbow in, and then, as I'm flipping over, you just wear a hole in it. So you got to do there's 4 levels of Tempur-Pedic sheets. You get the second level. That's the one to go. It's like Pima cotton or something like that. So don't go for the high end because it won't last. You get the little balls, those little balls. It lasts like a few weeks.
So there you go. Now, along with your pillows, you have a sheet recommendation.
Yes.
All right, let's see. Hey, Matt, I want your opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I have 991.2 GT3RS non-Wysock package. Thinking to swap it for a Wysock package. Is it worth the extra money, in your opinion?
No, definitely not. I mean, you'll get killed in that move. So you say that again. He has a 991.2, so he already has a .2. No, I wouldn't do that at all. Yeah, I mean, all it is a insignia on the seats, an insignia on the dash, and then it's a exposed carbon roof instead of a regular magnesium roof, which is like 1 pound difference, and an exposed carbon wing. Because the front of the non-Wysock is all carbon anyway. So yeah, no, I wouldn't do that.
What's the price difference there?
Well, it was like 20. Was it 19,000? I think I want to say for that option, but yeah, I wouldn't.
Some expensive stickers. Don't do it.
Yeah.
All right. Vince here says he wants to give a big, huge thanks for recent prior hose bib order. Less than 72 hours from order placed to them being installed on my currently constructed home. Couldn't be happier. Thanks. Oh, nice.
Well, a lot of that depends on where you live, too. If you're close enough, then if you order today, it's going to be, 4 days before it goes out. But normally, if you order today, we would have it out in a few hours. It just depends. Depends on when you do it. as we're trying to catch up from the chaos.
Clinton here says, my order from the cap sale is delivered this morning. The complete OG Mosmetic solution is incredible in quality and fitment. My weekend washing just got a whole lot better. Excellent.
Yeah, we got a couple of hundred orders out on the first Friday there, and that's where I was a little disappointed. We only got like a couple hundred, and I wanted to get 500, and so we and then we had a whole 3 days off. And I should have had everybody come in on Saturday. That's what I should have done, but we'll figure it out.
All right, let's see. Dalton on the subject of Porsches here. In the first GT4 video, you expressed your disappointment that the car had Dunlops on it.
Mm-hmm.
Will you be running those or swapping Michelins on right away?
No, they're not. They're not that much different to swap it. I'd only do that if I got new wheels. So yeah, they'll be fine.
All right, let's see. Here's a good question from Peter. Can you do a video on what you would do on a coated car a year later? Or just tell us maybe some do's and don'ts. Say it has scratches, decon, clay, etc.
Well, a year later, I don't think, you probably shouldn't need to be doing anything. I mean, now if it's your daily car and you're washing it once a week, maybe. But I don't like to mess with coating. I don't want to decon it. I don't want to do anything. So you have a choice. You can scratch it up by decontaminating it. I think doing iron removal that they do is a waste of time because you're probably not going to have any iron anyway. So I think that you're going to either polish it off and start over or not. And so I would say I would probably try to stretch it a little longer. If you're topping it, it should still be good. So I would think it would be more like 2 years later. Now you got to make a decision. What are you going to do? Are you okay with having some crusty stuff on the surface, starting to get a little, surface, marring and stuff like that? Or you want it to look great all the time, then 16, 18 months in, you're going to polish it off and start over. So that's why the whole idea of 9-year coating, 5-year coating, give me that crap. It's not going to last that long. The coating might last that long, but your surface isn't going to look certainly as good as it did in the beginning. Now, if it's a car you're driving like once a week, then 3-4 years is probably realistic. It just depends. Even then, I think I'm probably going to be polishing it off in 24 months and starting over. Recently, I haven't had a car for 24 months, so I haven't known.
I was going to say.
haven't known how long it should last.
I don't know what percentage of people who coat their cars will keep them 9 years.
Yeah.
Let's see. Speaking of coating, a couple coating-related questions here. One from 03 Fan on Instagram. Do you recommend washing the coating removal towels before using?
You probably should, but I don't. I just kind of shake them out and go. But if you want to be the most effective, I think you probably should.
All right, another quick question here about coating from Michael on Facebook. Is it okay to store unused CSL/EXO after using it? If so, how long?
Yeah, I think you're good for a while. Unused, probably a couple of years. Opened, I don't know. I've had stuff sitting there for a while. You can tell, you just look in the bottle. If it starts to solidify, you'll see little chunks in there. If it starts getting chunks, then I wouldn't use it. But even then, it's probably could still use it. But I wouldn't waste for $60. I don't know that I'd take the risk. So my philosophy is, if it has chunks, then I don't use it. If it doesn't, then I'm good to go.
Yeah, just treat it like milk.
Right.
Chunks are bad.
Right.
All right, Sean has a Porsche question for you. He wants to get one. GT4 is above budget. Any suggestions for weekend driver? Balance and driving dynamics is most important. 2016 Cayman GTS versus 718 Cayman 4-cylinder, or save for the 718 GTS 4.0.
I don't know, and I would probably try to get a 911. So I would look for like a 2015, either Carrera S or even better, Carrera GTS. I think the GTSs are still a little bit more expensive. You have to get in and drive it because those cars have about 20% of those cars have stumbling issues where they kind of feel like they have a fish on the line at like 3,000 RPMs as you're just under normal throttle conditions. So you could probably get those for $50,000-$60,000. But yeah, I guess a Cayman would be cool too. So I think Cayman GTS, the 2014, 15, 16, 911 GTS or Carrera S. something like that would be fantastic. Or, a higher mileage, 15, 20, 30, 40,000 mile, 981 GT4 is all going to be in that $40, $50, $60,000, something like that.
All right, our buddy here, Brian, up in New York. Last week, he asked us about a recommendation for PDR up in New York, and you suggested Ace of Dents.
Oh, yeah, cool.
Yeah, he said, heading there as we speak to get my dent removed. Thanks again for the recommendation.
Good.
So, thanks,
Good.
Brian.
I don't know how good Ace is, but all my buddies, John and Ephraim and the guys they say he's awesome. So, and he's had a McLaren and a GT3 RS, so I think he does pretty well. So I think he's pretty good.
All right, Adam here wants to know, do you have any plans to sell tool grid pegboards that are cut to MSS sizes?
Yeah, probably, but it's easy enough to just cut it yourself. But yeah, that's the intent, is to have it MSS Plus, Sonic, any cabinet I'm providing to have a, specific cut boards. But it's on the medium list.
I don't know how to pronounce his name. DeWeberis. I suppose the quantity of orders from the West Coast and California to offset the price of freight will convince you to open a branch in Cali. It's pretty funny because the Californians do come out for the sales for sure.
There will be no Matt Mormon in California ever. I'd as soon as put it in Nevada or Arizona or somewhere else.
Just get
freaking California is a
close.
Disaster. You guys have just drop a bomb on it. Sorry, guys, but and it's beautiful there, but man. I don't know how you guys deal with that crap. I don't know, pay 20% tax just to have the business there. It's stupid. I'd put it in Denver or somewhere else.
All right, so there you go. No California branch anytime soon.
You're gonna have a mass exodus from that state. It's nutcaseville.
But yeah, every Californian ordered from us this past weekend. They all bought 9 gallons of something, so that was cool.
Yeah, I got we probably lost money. We sell $600,000 in stuff and lost $50,000.
I really don't want to find out.
Yeah, let's just pretend. I pretend like I made 30%. I printed that and I made $150,000 in 4 days. It's just what I'm pretending.
I won't tell you otherwise.
Yeah, I don't want to know.
Here's a good question from Javier after your recent battery wisdom that you got here. Is Matt still charging his phone below 80?
No. I still charge it. I don't care. It's like I'm not following the advice. My phone is at, what is that? About 93%.
That's pretty high.
Yeah.
That's where I am.
Yeah.
Ooh, 91.
When he says, it's not for babies, it's just you talk on the phone a lot. Well, get a better job. Stop talking on the phone so much.
Let's see. Is it possible... Oh, where did I go? Sorry. Is it possible to order a bucket filler without quick disconnects? Yes, just email support at Obsessed Garage. They can help you do that. We have some people here backing you in the chat. I left Cali because of how nutty everything is there. There you go.
God, I just can't. It's so amazing. When you have something amazing, everybody wants to be there, and everybody wants to be there, whether you belong there or not. It's not good, And so that's why all the homeless just live wherever they want. Because why would you, if you're homeless, why the heck would you live in Philadelphia? Go to Los Angeles. You can lay on the streets. It's not even humid. It's beautiful, like all year round. Although they hit like 100-something degrees the other day. I saw that. But yeah, just California, man, and it's so amazing. Some of the places like especially Northern California is awesome. But I don't know how you deal with having to give all your money away to them, to them to squander it. That's the thing that's so weird to me is like I'm in LA or we're going up to Burbank, and I'm like these people are paying 15 to 18% state income tax. And there's like weeds, like 9-foot tall weeds growing out of the middle of the road, like right in the middle of the road. I'm like, we live in Toothlessville, Florida, and they take care of stuff, and we don't have state income tax. And we're probably a bankrupt state, but at least we're not having to freaking light all this money on fire. It's insane. So yeah, and California's not back in school. Like, what are they doing? It's freaking crazyville.
Everybody move here. We got plenty of room. Let's see.
I don't know that I would move to Florida. Move to like, I don't
Colorado.
know. Texas. Texas is where you want to go.
Canada. Just send them to Canada. CA, it works. You don't have to change your address.
Yeah. By the way, I love Californians in general. All you guys that are buying from me are great. But I'm sure you're sitting there just shaking your head like, what is going on here? But you would hope that your income would be offset by your extra costs, right? So hopefully you make more money in order to offset all of that expense and all the bull crap that comes with it. But I don't think that's always the case. So I think you hightail it out of there if you're not being fairly compensated for your for the inconvenience of having to give all your money away to people that just light it on fire.
All right, let's see here. He feels the same way about California as I do about Canada, kind of.
I was so afraid when I went there because I went to San Francisco. I loved it when I was in '98. My uncle flew me there, and so they love it there. I mean, they live in downtown San Francisco, and so my friend Joe and I went there. It was amazing, and changed my life. You sort of expanded my perspective of the world. It's part of the reason why I moved to Orlando, because I was like, man, I don't want to stay in Hazelton, Pennsylvania forever. But then I went back there for the first time. What was it? Maybe like 3 years ago. I went to Los Angeles. I was so afraid that I would want to be there. Like I was afraid I was going to get off the plane and like I've got to figure out how to get here. And I walked in the airport, freaking LAX, it's like a bomb went off there. I'm like, well, we're not off to a good start. And then we're driving down the road, and there's like 9-foot tall weeds growing out of the center of the road, and everything's broken. It's like potholes everywhere. I'm like, what in the world? We're sitting in traffic. I'm like, so it neutered me of any desire to have anything anywhere around there. So, but of course, you could go to Northern California or Southern California. Go all the way to. I've never been to San Diego, but I'm sure it's pretty nice. Some of the areas outside of the, San Francisco and Los Angeles might be super cool. But yeah, I don't know if I could deal with all the crap that comes with it. But man, that weather's insane. You ever been there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Megan and I took an awesome road trip. We flew to San Diego.
Mm-hmm.
And drove up the coast over the course of a week up to San Francisco area. That was nice.
It like literally never rains.
Yeah. The water was freezing cold. We walked on the beach for like an hour and didn't sweat, though. It was so nice.
It's crazy. July. That's why everybody wants to be there. Palm trees and no sweating.
But there was a drought and like lots of stuff was closed. It was weird.
Yeah.
All right. So, sorry, California. But change your ways. We got a super chat here from Robert Valadez. Thanks for the 1322 TS and everything your team does. Oh, thank you, Robert. Awesome. Hope you enjoy that. Rick wants to know, are OG manufactured garden hoses likely to be available this year?
Meaning, if he's talking about we're going to be putting the fittings. I don't know. Probably not this year. I mean, we need more space. We can't do it here, so because we need to put a section somewhere where we have a crimping, have a crimping station. And then we'd have to put, bulk reels of hose there as well. I would hope that next year, we still have no word on the permitting stuff. So. On the building, up slightly north of here, but yeah, I'd like to be making hoses, sometime in the sooner rather than later, would be a good thing.
All right, we got a question here from Juiced. Is there a Sonic Tool foam system OG package for Saber cabinets?
No, there isn't. The sizing's different. There, you can do some stuff like the mediums will fit in the drawers, but they don't pressure fit. There's a lot of gap. But at some point, I'm going to have this all figured out. So, I mean, I'm sure you could figure it out yourself, but it won't be easy. You'd have to buy and try and do a lot of measuring and all that kind of stuff. So that's a tricky thing that you're going to have to kind of figure out, that I'm going to figure out for you. I just don't know when. There's a lot of things in my head swirling around that I'm going to get done, that I want to get done, but it's just like I can't do them all right this minute.
Alex wants to know, when is the next GT4 video going to?
Tonight.
Yep.
So tonight's premiere will be at 8 p.m. I'll be there live, chatting with you. It's the first wash, and so that one's done, and then we'll have probably have another lull this weekend. So I kind of took some time off because working on the GT4. We've seen that doing videos every day does nothing for viewership or subscribership. And so I'm going to just make videos whenever the heck I feel like making them, which is more often than not. But I'm not worried about doing it every day like we were doing for the last 6 months or so.
So 8 p.m. Eastern time.
Correct.
5 p.m. for everybody in California. Is there an adapter for the Prevost air fittings to regular U.S. air fittings so I can use my old fittings on the Prevost QDs?
Yeah, you just use the industrial version. It really depends on which style you have. Remember, there are 7 or 8 different types of fittings or different types of plugs. There's the Euro High Flow, which is the one I've adopted, but the most common on the sort of east coast of the U.S. is industrial ISO 06. And so, yeah, you get the blue ones. That's the blue colored ones. So the blue colored couplers. But if you bought green couplers, then you have to get Euro High Flow plugs. But they're only like $2 a piece, or $1.80 a piece, or something like that. Just buy a couple dozen of them, swap all your tools, take you a few minutes, and you'll be good to go.
All right, Corey has a question you can definitely help him out with, I think. He got a GT4 allocation for December.
Mm-hmm.
He was set on white on black.
Yep.
But after seeing your gentian blue with platinum wheels, I'm torn. Help him out.
Well, the only problem is that like 95% of the darn cars are going to be gentian blue, I think now, or a good percentage of them. So I think it depends on, do you care about everybody having the same car as you? I would rather have the RS in gentian blue and the GT4 in white on black. But because I didn't want 2 white on blacks, I decided to do it the other way. But yeah, I mean, I think both are great. But if I had a choice between the two, like if I didn't have a white on black GT3 RS, I would have gotten the white car.
All right, Ridge Racer here says, yo, Matt just picked up a 2018 GT3. Mobil 1 or AMSOIL? Is AMSOIL that superior to Mobil 1?
Yeah, I think it's much better. This is from back in the days of studying. They used to study this stuff, but like Liquid Moly, and Redline and AMSOIL are all superior oils to Mobil 1.
All right, Jack says he has a Dakar Yellow E36 M3.
Mm-hmm.
Has never been paint corrected.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of scratches over the years.
Yep.
He's thinking 2-step with Cut Max and Perfect Finish. What do you think about that?
Yeah, that's probably a good guess. Cut Max with a microfiber or a microfiber cutting pad. You might need to do a couple of sets of passes. I think you'll be all fine on that car. German painted car. I don't know how many owners it's had before him, but I think you'll be able to hammer down on it and clean it up. And either wax or coat the thing, and then hopefully you won't have to correct it anytime soon again. But yeah, I think that'd be a good combo. I like Jesscar so much, but Cut Max is also great. A little more aggressive than Jesscar.
All right. Do you have a favorite daily driver / family hauler for a small family? I'm considering adding an X3M or X5 M50i, maybe a new Bronco or Defender. What do you think?
Well, I think an X3 is pointless. It's just a mom car on stilts. Why wouldn't you just get a sedan? Why would you get a car that's taller, that doesn't have any more room? And the X5 is arguably kind of a waste too. I mean, you can get the third row seat, I guess, but it's really tight. I just always thought, if you're looking for a family cruiser, in more space, especially if you had 3 kids, or if you're hauling other people's kids around, or you're picking people up from the airport and stuff, then you need like a full size SUV. And then the other thing that we found is that if you have a baby, like an Acura MDX or a lot of those like mid-size SUVs, they don't work because you got to put the passenger seat through the the person's got their knees jammed up in the dash, and that's why minivans are so popular, because they actually fit people. But I think you do like Audi Q7, you do a Tahoe or a Yukon, and then you get into a point where the Yukon, if you have the third row down, you can't fit anything behind there. So now you need an XL. So you got to draw the line somewhere. But and I like the X5, but the X5 is more of I like to sit up taller because I'm a weird old man kind of thing, I think the X5M looks great. It's a cool car, but it really doesn't offer a whole lot more practicality than an M5 would. I mean, a little more comfortable in the back seat, because the M5 is a stupid back seat. But That's the tricky part about that whole mid-size game. Like the Macan and the X3 and the Soccer Mom cars, I just don't get. It's just a car on stilts. It's a car with crappier handling. Why don't you just get a car? Like I would much rather have an RS6 Avant or an S6 or having something like that, and I would go check the back seat because what we found in the freaking M5, the back seat's useless for kids. Kate's feet just poke into the back, and it's too small for Ryan because the trunk was too darn big. So I don't know, that whole family deal, like buying a Porsche, Cayenne. I love that. I want one, but it has no use. It's just a freaking sedan on stilts. The back seat's a little bit bigger, but you don't have any extra room over just having a trunk. So I don't know. I struggle with all of that. Now having those taller cars make more sense if you got a lot of snow. You can put some all seasons on it and roll it. Put some Blizzak, some winter tires, and roll. Especially if it's all-wheel drive. But I don't know. The Macan, I just think is dumb. I wish frickin' Porsche would make a real sedan. It'd be awesome. Instead of the hideous Panamera. I'd buy a new one every year. It'd be fantastic.
All right, Peter chimed in, says he has a place in West Palm. Would love to visit. Love to visit you guys. How far is that? It is 212 miles, 3 hours 14 minutes, and he wants to do a WOD with you. So yeah, come on up. He loves doing workouts.
Yeah.
Let's see, Mr. Snell. Oh, sorry, I skipped that question. Ronaldo says hi from Puerto Rico. Hey, Ronaldo. We have a super chat here from Sam Carp of $9.11, fitting for today. Curious where you two were when you heard about the events 19 years ago today. Always curious to hear people's stories, as it is a day most don't forget.
I was pretty selfish, I was so let's see, 2001, right? Mm-hmm. So I was a junior in college. No, wait, was I a junior? No, I was a senior.
It would have been in fall of your senior year.
Yeah, so I just started my senior year, and I remember turning on my 65-inch Mitsubishi 65 Diamond. I think I slept in that day, and until like 8 o'clock or something like that. And I remember waking up thinking, "Oh crap! Like I'm about to graduate and want to go get a job, and the freaking economy is going to collapse." And so I remember standing outside. I think I washed my car that day, fitting. And I think I went outside and washed my car, and I kept coming back inside and looking at my Mitsubishi Diamond. And then my roommate Jay, his dad worked at the World Trade Center, so he was freaking out. And the cell phones are down, and and they're gridlocked, and cell phones were kind of newer then. And so he was trying to get a hold of his dad because his dad worked in Tower 1 or something like that, and so he finally got a hold of his dad, and I just remember him running around like a crazy person all that whole morning. And I'm just out washing my car, saying, "Man, this is not good. This is bad." And then we'd come inside and I'd go back outside and come back inside. And I don't remember if school was canceled that day. I think it might have been later on in the day. But that's where I was.
Yeah, I was in Vestavia Hills, Alabama, just outside Birmingham. That's where I lived. And I got up that morning, and my wife had the TV on. She was watching it. She's like, "Are you seeing what's happening?" Because we were an hour earlier there in Central Time than New York. And I was working at Chick-fil-A. So we watched for a little while, and then I had to go to work. And then all day at work, we had a TV in the back set up where people could go and watch and kind of see the updates and everything. Just a very weird day. Very weird.
Yeah, I think I was in Ardmore, Pennsylvania, and I think about that. I mean, it kind of shapes a generation. You see these freaking sissies out, rioting and breaking windows and stuff, and they're just soft, and we're soft compared to the generations before us. The generation that was drafted for Vietnam, and of course the World War II, World War I generations. My gosh, we're so freaking soft. And 9/11, we almost had to get hard. It was one of those times you're like, man, I don't know about you, but I thought our generation, it just didn't equate a draft or that kind of world scale change or disaster happening to our generation. And it was that crossed my mind a lot. Like, man, this could be our World War II, our World War I, our Civil War. So all the previous generations had to get hard. They didn't have a choice, both women and men. When men went away to World War II, the women had to pick up the slack. And of course World War I was a gosh darn bloodbath. Millions and millions of people died. And so that's what's so disconcerting about now, is that, man, we're complaining about being too comfortable. It makes me think that you think about 9/11 and you think about how people kind of came together over just a rational irrationality. The irrationality of the Patriot Act, kind of went ridiculous and went too far, and part of the reason why we're at where we are today. But remember how much of a pain it was to try to travel and stuff. I wasn't traveling much then, but
there are people stranded for like a while.
Yeah.
My aunt worked in New York City, so she was the first person I called, and she happened to be on vacation in Alaska with my grandparents at the time. So I woke her up because there's 4 or 5 hours earlier in Alaska.
Yeah.
And woke her up, calling over and over and over again. And then they were out there. I forget how long they stayed, 2 or 3 weeks past when they wanted to, because they couldn't get back.
Yeah.
Without like renting a car, basically.
Yeah. So this whole weird pandemic thinger is, it's so much more insignificant than 9/11 certainly was. And of course, then you had the tech wreck and all of that right after that. The markets melted down. It's the first time we'd really seen volatility like that ever, and that was a rough go. And then of course we're screwing it all up again today, but that's kind of how it goes.
All right, got another super chat here from Because Race Cars. Hey Matt, longtime viewer, wondering your recommendation for pressure washing for mobile detailing when first starting out. I'd like to do it right.
Yeah, I think I think since you're mobile, I would try to find places like if you're going to a customer's house or something, then you plug into their stuff and just make that a requisite that you need to be able to plug in instead of having to use a generator. I think a lot of detailers are so afraid of inconveniencing people. People just don't want to wash their car, and they'll give you whatever you need in order to not have to do it, right? And so have yourself a nice Pro-Lock extension cord. And get yourself a Karcher pressure washer, something super light and junk. You can just fire in the back of the truck and shoot. Even if you bought a new one every 6 months, you wouldn't have to because it'd be warranted. But I'd probably buy 2 of them. I'd have one, in the back of the truck, and I'd have one sitting at home in case it failed.
Backup.
Yeah, and then that way when it fails, they have this crazy 3-year warranty, and you're waiting for the new one to come. You still have the backup to work with. But I don't know that I would worry so much about getting a tank and all of that stuff. I would make it the requisite that your customers got to give you the space to do it. They'll do that. They'll give you access to their garden hose and shoot. Then if it were me, I'd start selling my customers new garden hoses and new fittings and stuff like that. And if you didn't want to do it yourself, you could just set yourself up as an Obsessed Garage affiliate and start selling it to everybody and say, look, if I'm going to do this for you, I need you to get this list of things. And then you get paid, by us to...
Paid twice.
Yeah. That's what I would do. And just don't preclude yourself from things. And don't, people appreciate it. Like if my yard guy comes to me and says, I need this, this, and this, as long as it's not out of the, ridiculous, then I'm going to say, sure, let's do it. Wait, how is this going to benefit me? Say, well, I can wash your car quicker. I can wash it more often. It'd be a little less expensive because I can get it done quicker. Whatever that value is. I don't know that I would discount it, but I would, you use that as an opportunity. So getting a generator and a tank and all that stuff. I mean, yeah, that's great, but I don't know that I would go there.
All right. Here's a fun name for you. Fatty Butt 96 says, Obsessed Garage, I'm in the process of hand painting a GT3 RS. Can I send it to you when it's finished? 24 inches by 20 inches. Sure. Our address is on the website.
Oh, I thought he meant he's hand painting a
I think just a picture.
Not
an
if I
actual.
was hand painting the car and he wants me to polish it, I'm going to say absolutely not. No.
Sorry, fatty butt. Let's see. Questions. A couple folks asking about the Ego blower nozzle. Any updates there? Have we heard anything?
No, I know David has. We're gonna talk today or tomorrow or something like that. He has some more info. He's found a contract manufacturer, and so now he has to. He's kind of working out the logistics. I think the mold is like $80,000 or $90,000. Can make something like 10,000 units or something, and his patent went through and all of that stuff. So he's kind of dotting the I's, crossing the T's, and then then we're not there.
All right, Cannon has a good question here. Matt, can you put up the sledge axe from the Sunjo video in the open box items section? I just got the K1322 TS, and my Sunjo needs to be executed.
Yeah, the sledge axe is sitting comfortably upstairs.
Where'd you get that thing?
It's a Husky. Home
Did you order
Depot
it?
Husky sledge axe.
There you go, Cannon.
That's how I didn't even know sledge axe existed. I just went to Home Depot looking for an axe. I'm like, this is even better. It's a sledge axe. It's two double whammy.
Best of both worlds.
Double awesome.
Hey, speaking of which, Spencer asked on Facebook, between Lowe's, Home Depot, and Menards, which I don't think we have here, where are you going? So, are you a Home Depot guy?
Yeah. I mean, Lowe's is nicer. I don't know. Something about Home Depot makes you feel more like a real man. They have Milwaukee there. I guess maybe Home Depot doesn't. I don't need to go there as much anymore because I have all my own Milwaukee stuff. But Lowe's has, a greater assortment of like nuts and bolts and stuff. But I go to Home Depot because it's closer.
It's closer to here.
Yeah.
Let's see. Have either of you ever been to Montreal? You been to Montreal?
No.
No, me either.
I've never. No, I've been to Canada, Niagara Falls. That's it.
Yeah, that doesn't.
Which doesn't really count, right?
No. I've been to Toronto for a week.
Yeah, no, never. So I've never actually been to Canada outside of going to Niagara Falls and staying on the Canadian side. So I need to go.
All right, let's see. Anyone? Oops, sorry. I'm just here for the quotable T-shirts. Those are coming. Let's see.
We kind of tried that, and it didn't really work,
We had this is a good question because we have lots of Civic questions I want to get to here.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you'll appreciate this question from Jonathan on Facebook. When testing out the new system in the Civic, what are your go-to musical choices? Are your choices based purely on stuff you like, or you take into account bitrate, recording quality, dynamic range, etc.?
So I really need to go and buy some, FLAC files and put them on a USB, whatever little USB thinger. What do they call that? Flash drive. But I have Tidal and Spotify, so I stream Spotify 320 kilobits per second. But I have Tidal, and so I'm looking for master audio collections, and so. You pull out all the typical stuff. So I was searching last night. So I sat in the car for like an hour and a half, something like that. And you listen to like the Eagles. So I'll listen to stuff that I like, Tool and Seether and Trapped and stuff like that. And then pull up the Heartland soundtrack. And just kidding.
You're not kidding.
I didn't last night, but normally I would. And then, I just started thinking about things like, and then you listen to some Pink Floyd and then just start searching through like, master collection stuff. And you put on some Drake and see how the subs are doing. You do that. And then, what else did I listen to last night? I put some like Diana Krall, which was terrible. But the audio quality is great. That's what it is. So a lot of Tool, a lot of Pink Floyd, Eagles. There was something. Oh, Eric Clapton. One of my favorite albums is the Eric Clapton Unplugged album from like '92 MTV. That one. So.
Yeah, I think in the Sound in Motion on their Instagram page, they were playing One by Metallica when they did their little shoot. That's a good one to play in there too.
Yeah.
Let's see. Jason has a question for you, Matt. How do you clean your windshield wiper fluid reservoir if you clean it? I've seen you emptying out by letting it spray, but is there any chemicals you use to actually clean it?
No. I figure then it'll stay clean when the smart thing to do would be to find that I'm assuming it has a drain plug somewhere. It usually isn't easy to find, but where you could just drain it out and flush it out. But if you really wanted to do it and you didn't know where the drain plug was, you'd fill it with whatever you're going to fill it with and then spray it out again and then fill it. So, no, I don't. I just spray out all the funk from the factory, and then I figure after 2 or 3 fill-ups, then, which will be the life of my car, then I'm good to go.
All right, our buddy David in Alabama says, what are the current prerequisites, if any, to become an OG affiliate, since you mentioned the affiliate program?
I don't know. You just kind of have to make a case of how you're going to put some effort into it, and no one really has. I haven't put any effort into teaching people how to put effort into it. But you just make a case, explain why. Shoot Bryce an email and say, hey, here's why I'd like to do it. I think I can make some money doing this. I'm telling all my friends and relatives, and I have, I tell all these people I'm posting a lot. And then you get paid between 5 and 10%, depending on, how much you sell.
All right, let's see. This is a good question from 03fan on Instagram. A couple folks have asked about this in the past. Do you have any thoughts on a kits/solutions tab on the website? I'm sure others would also be interested in a coating kit or easier find the car washing kit, stuff like that.
Yeah, there's a reorg coming, and I need to just sit down and think through and reorganize. And then we're going to have the master kit, which now we're not going to be able to do because we're going to be out of everything. But I think that's coming here soon.
MDP threw in here, did you listen to any period correct Wu-Tang while
Yes, I
riding around the
did.
Civic?
Yes, I did. Yep. But its system's not really a wrap. It's 2 10s with neodymium magnets down firing, and then so it's not that kind of a system. Which I didn't want that.
Let's see, our good buddy here, Brian, out in California, says for test music, use John Williams movie soundtracks, like Star Wars and some stuff like that. Get you a little orchestra music going.
Yeah. One of my test tracks is a band called Dada, D-A-D-A. It was in like my Tweeter or my Bryn Mawr stereo demo kit. You'd have to buy like a kit, and it had like 20 CDs or something in it with like a bunch of different random music. And so for whatever reason I started listening to that, and now it's like ingrained. It's like one of those familiar soundtracks. It's terrible, but it sounds pretty good. And so I used to use that for a demo all the time, and then I grew to like it. So I was listening to that last night when I was driving.
All right, question here from Steven on Facebook about another Civic question I want to get to. Did you weigh the Civic Si before to do before-after comparison on curb weight? I'm wondering how porky it's going to get.
No. I mean, I'd assume it'd probably be lighter when it's all said and done. But
and then when is the next Civic video coming, or what will the next Civic
next will be the stereo, so we'll shoot that probably Monday and have it on Tuesday. And then I got my Motons today, so the Moton suspension's here. So I think I have every part with the exception of the steering wheel. So I should have that here soon. They just emailed me this morning. So I think, then it'll be start to work on the suspension and wheels. And so the Civic will be coming back here strong starting next week.
All right, let's see. Mike wants to know, even though I use your preferred method of Powerlock plus 845, is there another wax as a second choice for 845?
I mean, 915's good from them, or Swiss Wax Concorso or some Swiss Wax product. There's a lot of good waxes out there, but that's generally what my choice of wax would be. Like Auto Finesse Desire. I have a jug over there. Swiss Wax Concorso, or Culinite 915.
All right, I have a question here, so I looked this up. I thought it might have been a joke, but I guess it's not. Kyle Donovan says, Matt, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure you missed the Milwaukee M12 heated jacket and hoodie collection.
Yeah, I didn't miss it. I just didn't buy it. But it's kind of interesting,
So it's got...
when I'm in Canada, I'm going to need that stuff. And walk around with an M12 battery in my pocket, powering my heated body.
Tough shell jacket. There you go. Who knew?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's real.
It comes in 3 different colors, too. Just get you a blue one, and you're good to go.
Yep.
All right. Maddie's test tracks are all Ariana Grande. Any truth to that rumor?
No, that is not true. They even checked me out this weekend. It was all them listening to Ariana Grande.
Brendan wants to know from Instagram, do you have any experience with matte paint? I don't know if I want to coat because I can't polish. I wanting to find a solution for maintaining it for a while.
Yeah, I don't have any experience. I mean, the thing to do is to either Swiss Vax Matte, Caroline, or Dr. Beasley's. One of those two would be my suggestion to start to dig into it. I've never really spent any time with it.
All right, Spencer asked about the next YouTube video tonight at 8 p.m. Spencer is going live. Any risk, this is from Champagne Chugger on Instagram, any risk of damaging a Crenzola 1622 TS if I use your 4.0 nozzle for rinsing?
No, I don't think so. The 1622?
Yeah, 1622.
Oh, yeah, no, definitely not. Definitely not. But it won't work very well. You need a smaller nozzle. But it would just have, it would have a little more flow, a little less pressure. So it'd probably be around like 800 PSI, something like that. 750 PSI.
All right, let's see. Mojito Man 6 on Instagram. What are your thoughts on auto scrub without polishing afterwards every once in a while, 1 to 2 times per year? I'd obviously like to remove some contaminants from my paint, but I haven't bit the bullet and bought an orbital polisher supplies yet.
I mean, you can. I'd probably rather have it, because your paint's going to be scratched anyway. So I'd rather, if your paint's already scratched, it's probably not going to scratch it all that much more. So, yeah, having it contaminant-free is always nice. But, you typically want to polish. So we're going to get into that. Get yourself a polisher and get it done. Even if you just did one step, Sonax Perfect Finish or something would be awesome.
All right, you mentioned your steering wheel. What kind of steering wheel is it? Spoon? Mugen?
No, it's a Euro Boutique S2000 wheel. So this would be a fatter Alcantara S2000 wheels that I'm putting in there. I don't like the non-airbag versions of wheels.
Do they have them in whatever year that car is? Or an airbag in the steering wheel?
Yeah, it does, yeah. Only the steering wheel, I'm pretty sure. I just don't. There's a recall on that airbag, too. I should probably get the new one. I guess I will have a new one. I have the new S2000 one.
All right, Crisp Car Guru wants to know, do you have any big plans for the E92 M3 Supercharger, perhaps?
No, nothing on the docket. But if I do stuff, it'll be a new suspension, wheels, and F80 carbon ceramic brakes. The jury's out. The car's been sitting there, and the GT4, we'll see. We'll see what happens with the M3.
All right, let's see. Dominic has an interesting question here on Facebook. Given your electrical engineering background, what do you think the long-term viability of electric cars / electric performance cars is? I know you alluded to that the Taycan is expensive, but I figured if you went electric, that would be the car you choose.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're very clearly headed in that direction. A lot of it I think depends on solar and other efficient energy. Because what good does it do you to get an electric car and you're just sucking, they're just burning coal somewhere to create your electricity. We need hydroelectric and wind power and solar, which isn't really all that practical. And so again, it doesn't do you a whole heck of a lot of good. The thing that I think about often is, how many rare earth metals are out there, and then, batteries are pretty darn harmful to create and then to discard. So what happens with all that when we run out of these materials? Will they just develop different materials when we run out? But I don't know. I mean, I guess you could have the same argument about iron ore, that they're using to build cars. So, I don't know. But I think that the viability is extremely great. I think Tesla will be one of the biggest companies in the world. They already are, but I mean, they'll be a legitimate, massive corporation as they continue to develop. I think performance is something that's very realistic in those as they become more efficient and lighter weight.
All right, let's see. Where'd the question go? We have a question for you from Jeff. On your GT4 radar detector install, are you planning on using a mirror tap or routing a remote tap with a mute button?
No, neither. I'll run a hard wire down to the fuse box in the passenger kick panel and add a fuse. So I run it, the headliner down the A-pillar, down through into the fuse box down there. The mirror taps, I don't know. I don't love them. I always feel like it's going to come out. And so it's so easy to do. I mean, it's like a half an hour job. So unit NR7 on a blend mount with a hardwire kit.
All right, James here has a question. What's your go-to chemical for traffic film remover?
Stop saying traffic film. It sounds stupid. What was it? Go-to chemical? No, I just wash my car. There's no such thing. You just wash it with Adam's car shampoo.
There you go.
Yeah.
No more what would you recommend instead of traffic film? What's the
dirt?
Funk. Florida funk.
Dirt.
Water.
And dirt and bugs.
Javier wants
what happens
to
if there's no traffic, but your car still gets dirty? So why would you call it that?
Maybe he has traffic everywhere. I don't know. Maybe he lives in California.
No, that's a YouTube word.
All right, Javier wants to know, by any chance, have you seen John at LHT's Integra build? And if so, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, it's great. John's like, why did I spend all that money on that thing? It's like, it's terrible. It's fantastic, but it's one of those cars. It's like, it seems like a great idea at the time until you add it all up. You're like, oh boy. But yeah, that car's awesome. And Civic's going to be, similar. The stereo's so good. It's so freaking good.
All right, Scott wants to know, have you reached out to Garrett Mitchell, parentheses Cletus, about a collab for his future shop build? It's not the typical demographic, but could see a lot of converts and traffic to site and channel.
No, I don't really have any interest in that stuff. I got enough good clients that'll pay for it, and all those young guys want everything for free and they won't do any work. So I don't really have any interest in doing it. If people wanted to pay for it, sure, I'll sell it to them. But I don't really have time to go and do it. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do the work. We did Ed's garage, but it was so freaking hard. So it was like 7 straight days of just pure labor. So we'll do that with a garage giveaway once or twice a year. But I don't have any intention of doing a bunch of YouTubers' garages, at least not at this point. But I may change my mind. But
all right, Jack from Facebook has a question here. After it didn't work out to get on Matt Farah's podcast last year, would you still have a desire to go on the podcast, especially now that he is doing Zoom guests?
Yeah, I don't see why not. I don't know what it really does for me, but I don't have any grudge or anything. I went out to Los Angeles for that. Luckily, I was able to go to McGuire's and a couple other things and do some other stuff. So I didn't completely waste the trip out there. But whatever. I'm not chomping at the bit to do it. I don't know that their podcasts get all that much more play than ours does. But sure, I'd go on it.
All right, let's see. We had someone ask about the Little Debbie Sweet 16. I mentioned there was an OG employee bracket, so someone wanted to know.
Yeah, they're almost 100% wrong on everything.
Your Nutty Buddies were eliminated today. You're just mad.
Yeah.
The peanut butter cream pies, which were a late addition because I couldn't find something else, they've made it all the way to the finals. Yeah. So that's a Cinderella story coming out of the Southeast bracket down there. Mm-hmm. So here's what is left. We have oatmeal cream pies. We'll take on the winner of chocolate cupcakes and honey buns. And then the winner of that faces the peanut butter cream pies for the
How did zebra cakes get a 4 seed? That's ridiculous.
Well,
oatmeal cream pies is a 1 seed.
Yeah, it's the classic.
Yeah.
So zebra cakes, oatmeal cream pie. Well, it speaks for itself there. So that's the update.
Zebra cakes are at least a 2 seed.
They made it to your final versus Nutty Buddy, but in case you'd missed that, Matt's favorite is now the Nutty Buddy. Or maybe it was all along.
Yeah.
All right. We have a question from Alex on Facebook. For Hex Plus, would you considering doing a deep dive of the capacity sale numbers? Very curious to see how it turned out and how it affected sales the week before and or after. Thanks.
Yeah. It's certainly going to affect them after. I don't feel like it affected them much before. a lot of the afters because we don't have anything in stock, so we got to rebuild stock of things. But you know, I think a lot of people to me, and you know, and I think a lot of people are like me that buy from OG are just like, I just get it when I want it. I don't care if it's on sale or not. You know, and for some, it kind of pushes you over the edge. Say, well, I was going to buy it, so I'll buy it now. But I think a lot of people just get what they want when they want. And Michelle says I have Christmas every day. So the real fascinating thing, I think I'm going to have to probably start talking about this, is that I was thinking about this the other day. Is, you know, there's a lot of people who are like, well, I use your store. It's too much money. It's too expensive, or blah blah blah. But they use it to go shop elsewhere and find it for less money. And then I think about it, I'm like, man, if I had me to buy from all this stuff, my life would be so easy. Now, granted, I wouldn't have a business now. But like when people are like complaining about like they got a wrong fitting or something like that, like I didn't have me to like, so you got 4 out of 5 fittings correct, and you have like someone to reach out to and ask what you got wrong. I didn't have that, and I had to pay more for everything. So they pay less, and they don't have to screw it up as much, and they get someone to ask. Oh, no, by the way, you didn't even have to ask if they actually just went and looked it up or read the description. Like, I've already taught them how to do it. And so I probably need to start, talking to people about stop this entitlement bull crap. Just because you're buying it from me, I don't know, you squat. You owe me something. I saved you a lot of time and money, and there's someone to help you. There's like all these young guys that I taught all this stuff to that now can answer your questions, or me. I've already answered it watching the video, but man, it's pretty awesome. I'm thinking about it. I'm patting myself on the back here about, man, I wish I had somebody help me buy a darn pressure washer or pick what detail spray to use. That would have been great. I had to go figure it out. Or find the resource, which is usually buried deep somewhere. And so I've chased all this stuff to the end of the gosh darn earth, and we're just going to keep making it better and better and better and better. And eventually make it to where we have no email. No, you can't call us, you can't email us, can't talk to us. Here's the answer. And we've refined it down to the point where it's exact, and you can't screw it up. That's when it'll be magical. When we have it so refined and so perfected that you can't screw it up. If you screw it up, that's tough luck. It's on you. We got you like 99% of the way. Right now we get you 95% of the way there. The other 5%. Like some guy emailing us complaining that the Mosmatic fittings weren't as tight of tolerance as he'd assumed they would be. He spent like, $180. You're freaking crying. Get out of here. Like, this is the best fitting in the world. I don't know what you were expecting, but it's great. And even if it wasn't great, it's $100. Just freaking do something else. Why would you even waste your time complaining about it? Just move on to the next thing. Tried it, and it wasn't good. It was good. It wasn't good as I thought. Oh, well, I've tried it. I'll move on to the next. It's not even worth returning. Just send it back. You got to pay shipping. Got to go to a UPS store or figure that out. Forget it. So anyway, I'm going to start talking about this more, about this whole, we're in this together. I'm not your frickin' slave here, and neither are the people that work for me, but we're going to help you figure it out. It's such an awesome resource that, you can buy fittings for your pressure washer, and when fittings didn't even exist, I had to a lot of these fittings that we now have, they didn't even exist. And I'm trying to figure it out, trying to buy from these random online places that really didn't even deal in what we're dealing. So, but yeah, it's freaking awesome. The whole thing, we're just going to keep refining to the point to where, it's nutted down to, exactly what to buy. But you also have to remember you're buying professional grade stuff, and so it requires professional grade effort. Just because you have a professional grade product doesn't mean that you can just, it's like some secret thing. In fact, a lot of times it means it's more work. I buy a custom install pressure washer, I've got to custom install it. The difference is when I was doing my custom install pressure washer, it took me 6 months to do it because every time I bought a part, it was the wrong part, and I had to order. Remember, I had to order another one. Nope, that didn't fit. Nope, got to order another. Nope, that one didn't fit. Well, let me order 6 of these. Maybe I can get one of them right. Nope, all 6 of them don't work. Let me try this. and try that, and try another one, and try a seventh one. So I had 5 shelves and 4 hose reels, and one of the hose reels rusted before I even got it. I'm like, well, that's no good. And so you still have to put in an effort. When you have a Krenzel pressure washer, I think a lot of people assume that because it costs a lot of money that it's perfect. No, it's as imperfect as anything else. It's just better. But it requires you to be better in order to make it work really well for a long time. It doesn't come easy, and some people have bad luck. You got the one where the guy just was sleeping on torquing the one fitting or something. But again, I got you. When I bought mine, there was no one to call. I was screwed, and I ordered the thing, and it didn't work. I don't know what I was gonna do. There was no one to call. There was no one to talk to. If it was broken, then I'm gonna have to try to fix it. You guys got us, so take it easy on us. That's what I'm gonna start asking people to do. You just treat it like you would treat yourself. And we get like 90+% of people are freaking. We get like 90+% of people are freaking fantastic, and most of them never call. They never never complain and never have an issue. But there's like 2 or 3% that feel like we owe them something. They drive us crazy. I'm telling you right now, I don't owe you anything. You owe me for giving you this resource. That'll be in that douche of Facebook group that hates me. I'm sure they'll be real excited about this. They listen to everything I do. Imagine that. You have people that listen to everything you do. They hate you, can't stand you, but they sit there. They want to talk about a loser.
They do that while they rage polish.
How in the world? Why would anybody do that? I'm trying to think of something I hate. California. No, I'm just kidding. Like, just sit there and listen to it all day. How could you do that? It would drive you crazy. I only listen to things I love. I don't know what I'm rambling on here today. What are people saying about me rambling here?
Ha ha ha. Love how honest Matt is from Donnie there. Do you ever have to deal with bogus returns? Yes, we occasionally have some people who aren't very honest with certain things.
And we'll hunt them down.
Any recommendations on what to use on paint, or especially windshields, when you have bug splatters that have been there for a few days?
Yeah, just wash it. Wash it. And then use your drying aid or your glass cleaner to get the rest off. No shortcuts. There are no shortcuts in this game. If you use a shortcut, then you're going to shortcut the length that your protection is going to last. On glass, I mean, you can rub the crap out of it. So just spray some glass cleaner on there after you're done washing, and you're not going to scratch the glass generally with a microfiber towel and some glass cleaner. On paint, you want to be a little bit more cognizant. But I just everybody learns all these bug removers and stuff that magically melt the bugs away. Well, it's also melting away your protection as well, because you don't get both. So, maybe it's some special thing that only attacks enzymes, but I haven't found that product. So I'd prefer to just wash it and then attack whatever's left over after it's clean. There's no sand, there's no dirt, there's nothing else left. There's only the last little remnant of whatever was left over, the bug, and so then you can get it off with your glass cleaner, your drying aid, or something like that, and a towel.
All right, Dan Sigmund chimed in here. My first live podcast. How's the white epoxy under the Swiss tracks? Is it driving you nuts yet looking through the Swiss tracks?
Yeah, I mean, looking through it's fine. It only really matters when you're looking straight down. It's terrible. Oh, it's so bad. It's red, white, and blue it's white base with red and white.
Red and blue.
Or red and blue, yeah. Red and blue speckle, whatever they're called, chips. But only a little bit. It's like, so it's the full grandpa mode, because it's not a lot of chips. Like the modern epoxies have like tons of chips. Oh, this only has a tiny little bit of chips. And then it's not good.
All right, let's see. I'm slowly putting together my custom Krenzel solution.
Good.
There was a PDF on the site for the breakdown of parts and measurements of the full setup, but I can't find it anymore. Can y'all share it or repost? I'm not sure, so email support at Obsessed Garage. They can help you out with that.
Yeah, where'd it go? Did Bryce accidentally delete it when he removed the configurator, maybe?
I'm not sure. And then people, when you said, what do you hate? Now we have people chiming in with things you hate here.
Oh, okay. What do I hate?
California's taxes.
Yeah.
Did you listen to a California tax podcast?
I hate any taxes, so yeah, we
All
keep
right.
going.
Corvettes
Oh yes,
or
this is true.
vets?
Especially the C8 Corvettes.
Yes. So there you go.
Yeah, it's saying vets. Yeah,
Listen to-
coffee,
Coffee. Listen to the coffee podcast.
carrying water around everywhere you go. As you take one sip per hour. What else do I hate? I used to hate dogs, but now I got a dog. I used to hate Mac
Oh, there we go.
computers. Now I probably have more Mac computers than anybody I've ever met.
Shredded lettuce.
Oh yes.
Thank you, Chris Donatello.
Shredded lettuce. Ugh,
Gravy from a can.
that's gross. I don't hate it, but that's gross. What else? Wearing a mask. That's ridiculous. You care about others, Matt. Let me help people with this, and I think everybody already knows this. Anybody who shames about not caring about others is the prototype of someone who does not care about others. They only care about themselves. It's ridiculous. That's the prototype.
Let's see.
So shut your mouth. I can't see your mouth because you're wearing a mask, but leave me out of it.
Here's some more stuff you hate. Ready?
Yeah.
Pizza for lunch. If you're a grown up, maybe.
Yeah, grown-ups don't eat pizza. I love pizza more than the next guy, but actually the guys were eating pizza for lunch today.
There was some pizza out there.
Yeah.
Cornflake casserole.
Oh, gosh. Just like vomit on top of some vomit underneath. Yeah.
Tchotchkes.
Yep. Like yard gnomes and tchotchkes and all that stuff.
This is good. Sun Joe's.
Oh, yeah, this is good. Lots of hate.
Watches. Do you hate watches?
No, I don't hate them. I want to love them. I wish I liked them. I just never wear it. Spent all that money on that stupid Omega, and I've worn the thing like 12 times.
Cheeseburgers in the car.
Yeah, don't do that.
This is good stuff. Lots of people. Oh, what was the
Girl SUVs, like the little, soccer mom SUVs, is dumb.
term? Traffic film. Car show trophies.
Oh my gosh.
Green bean casserole.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh man. Baby blue cars.
Oh, that's a great one. Yeah, these people are smart. Yeah.
You've got lots of hate in your heart, Matt. Let it out. This is good. Koozies.
God dang, this is good.
Sous vide.
Yes, that's freaking stupid. It's sous vide. You're boiling your steak in some water, pretending like you're fancy. That's white trash fancy at its finest.
Graphene coatings.
Yep.
Jean shorts.
Jean
Big green
shorts are
eggs.
surprisingly comfortable. Yeah. I don't hate big green eggs. It's just want to be fancy. It's like pretending you're fancy. I don't like pretend fancy. Either you're fancy or you're not. Don't try to pretend.
Super shiny tires and interiors.
It's true. Yeah.
High efficiency washing machines. Traeger grills.
These guys are having no problem with just rolling through all kinds of hate.
We have some loyal listeners here. This is good. New Balance shoes.
Yeah.
Any shirts that are free and that aren't LA Apparel. That's good.
Yeah, what is it? Next level. Next level shirts are canvas
Gildan.
garbage.
IK foamers.
Yep. IK foamers are junk.
Mac Shine polishers.
Yeah, Chinese knockoff stuff. Oh my gosh.
Tire nibs.
Mm-hmm.
These are
Yep.
good.
I secretly love tire nibs because I get to remove the tire nibs, so that doesn't really count in the hate category. There's like a love affair with removing tire nibs. I got a bunch of new tires in there. I got a de-nib there. Yeah. There's a lot of things here.
Washing hands after using the bathroom.
You don't pee on your hands. You don't need to wash your hands. What am I, wiping my rear with my bare hand? What? That's what the
not.
paper's for.
Oh, man.
I don't understand. It's the stupidest thing ever. They're like telling me to wash my hands. Wash your hands. Wear a mask. Get out of here. I wash my hands when they're dirty.
The missing tooth.
Oh, yeah. That's more of a mental breakdown.
Uncomfortable bike seats. That's a good one. Shaking hands.
Yeah.
Not a big fan of the handshake.
People
in general. Yeah. Good stuff.
Boy.
Thank you all for your contributions. That was good.
Yeah, good job, guys. Good job. Did I tell you that one year that my brother and sister-in-law and Michelle, they gave me a birthday card. It was called That's Junk. This is sort of the story of Obsessed Garage. That's why I wanted to call it that'sjunk.com. And it said, it was all these things that if it wasn't like a Pioneer Elite Plasma, that's junk. If it's not, I would just, if it wasn't good, like if it wasn't Krensla, that's junk. It's a Sunjoe. And so they got me this card. It was super genius. There was like 30 things on there. It was all things that are junk.
Very thoughtful card.
Yeah. I'm such an evil Scrooge, apparently.
Yellow walls. Do you hate yellow walls?
Yes.
Being told what to do.
Oh, that gets me.
Washing an uncoated car. Glitter.
Mm.
Yeah, that's up there.
What was that glitter? Who was sending us the glitter? Who was that?
That's the guy who mentioned here, David from Alabama, who sent you your 40th birthday. Had all that glitter in the box and stuff. 2700K lights. Do you hate those? Can coat.
Oh yeah, I hate it. Yeah, that was my fault. I screwed that one up. But
Porsche GT allocations.
This is true. Dealerships. Oh, I hate dealerships. Ugh. Although the dealership at Porsche Wilmington was pretty freaking cool. If you get the right one, it's a good deal.
Let's see.
Oh, boy.
Can you please get confirmation Matt didn't touch my order while it was being packed with his dirty bathroom hands?
No. I washed my hands. I put gloves on, and then I wore a mask for you, and I packed it myself.
That's funny. Yeah, he doesn't.
Bunch of sheep. Trump.
Labor Day. You hate Labor Day?
Give me some Trump signs.
Sales for the sake of having a sale.
Yep.
Jeff. Yeah, that's on there. Labor Day.
Jeff's
sale.
Mustang. Yeah. After
Mustang.
this week. Yeah.
Let's see.
It's a good life. It's a good life to have all these gripes. JB4. Yeah. Freaking junk. MHD. Epoxy floors. Yeah, these are good, man. These guys are good. Tinted taillights. Why would you frickin' tint your taillights? Like, hey, I want to make sure you can't see me stopping. That's a good idea. That's a great idea. That's dumb.
Our friend Martin here chimed in with
Oh,
Super
burble
Chat.
tune. Oh, my gosh. Yeah. Why would you want your car to make stupid pops? That's dumb.
Fake M badges. Do you hate those?
Yeah. But that doesn't get me as much.
The window tint strip across the windshield.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Dudes who like to say things like, when are you going to change the gears on your GT4? Because that's like one of those car guy things you say to make it sound like you know what you're freaking talking about.
Like rod bearings.
Yeah. You're going to get your rod bearings changed? You know nothing about anything. Get out of here.
This is good. On the lines of hating dealerships from Joey here. I know you don't like buying cars from a dealership. What is your process to buy the cars you've had or have? Do you have a go-to website or auto broker?
No.
No, he just goes to the dealership that he hates.
Yes, this is true. But, man, buying a new car is way better. That darn thing is awesome. The GT4. So good. It's so clean. It's so new. It's mine. It's like mine from the beginning. Something to be said about that. It just makes it so much better. So much better. Than the last two GT cars are getting somebody else's deal. That's 3. Not good. Not as good.
All right. There was one other question I wanted to hit up here. Oh, did we sell the rebuild kit for the MTM PF22 foam cannon?
I don't think we have it, do we?
No.
I'm not much of a rebuild guy. It's freaking $80. Buy another one. I don't know. Maybe, but yeah, I guess we should probably get that crap. All you need is a filter. A little filter thing gets clogged up. But, I mean, mine is like, I don't know how many years old, and probably wash more cars than anybody. I don't know. I guess it depends on your water, too. If you've got, like, hard water with a lot of lime or a lot of minerals, if it's harder, you end up with some funk in there, and you got to replace it. But I don't know. I have my original one. Like the first week the PF22 came out, whenever that was, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, something like that, and the thing's fine. But I have a tendency to, like, if it stops working, just buy another one.
Here's the one I was waiting for. I was going to mention this, but Kyle York typed it here in the chat. Another thing you hate: Having to let raffle entries via mail for free.
Oh.
That's pretty high on the
So
list.
here's my plan for that. So we're holding on to these. If the going ever gets tough, right? So if the going gets tough, all these people, they have to give us their name, their address, their email address, their phone number, everything. I'm going to go shyster. I'm going to hire the salesiest, douchiest salesman ever. And I'm going to be one of them because I can do it. And just cold call the balls off of these people and like hammer them to buy like car soap. You know, all these old ladies, the old cat ladies that send in their free note card entries. And we're just going to hard sell them and not let them get off the phone. And just keep freaking calling them back. Like 4 times a day. It's going to be wonderful. Because you know all those people have a home phone.
Oh, yeah.
You know, they have a home phone. They have an answering machine still. We're going to clog up their answering machine. Hey, Matt here again. You know, it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. We have some Adams Car Shampoo, and I think you need at least 6 gallons of it because it's very important that you keep your car clean. You mean to tell me you can't buy 4 gallons of soap? You can't come up with that. Come on, Nancy. We'll build like a whole script, and we'll be calling, you know, Pat McKay, calling her 6 times a day until she's literally just buys from us. That's how we're gonna get rich. All these people, all these, you know, a few thousand note cards. I'm gonna be freaking hard selling them. It's gonna be great. We're holding on to every one of them. I'm building a database, the douche database, where you're trying to ruin other people's fun by being too cheap. And some of these dum-dums spend like $100 on stamps. Why don't you just buy 1 T-shirt? You got a better chance to win.
There you go. And some of them, and we joke about this, some of them come in on legit note cards. Some of them come in like we had a dude send in an entry on the back of a butter, like a box that 4 sticks of butter comes in. He had written the information on there. You flip it over.
He's got that shaky handwriting. Yeah.
Kroger brand butter.
It smells like mildew.
That's bad.
Like, what are they going to do with a freaking $100,000 M5? Yeah,
man.
And they live in like we look up their homes and stuff. It's freaking crazy.
Oh, so there's another thing you hate. How many note cards did you receive?
I have no idea.
Hundreds. Each time there were hundreds. Some people would send in 10 or 12 a day.
But you can only send in 1.
Yeah, if you read
if any of you losers send these in, just know I'm creating a checklist of future hate, current and future hate, all the way through eternity. Of if you want any chance of ever being my friend, don't do that because I will scorn you. You've got a scarlet letter on your forehead that I know it. It's ingrained in me. I know.
One of the worst things about that too, we'll get like 100 of them in a day, and somewhere in there is a bill or something that needs to be seen, and it's trapped in the middle, and we have to go through 100 of them. All the Nancy's.
All the mildew smells. Yeah, and the cat pee. And like the little bit of cream of mushroom soup stain that kind of dribbled over onto the envelope. You know.
That was probably the green bean casserole.
Yeah.
Dripped on.
Or they have the TV digest that they've had since '87 in their hoarder's house, and they cut it apart and then they write their name and address on it. They just sit there filling out sweepstakes all day. That's going to be the way. They've never won anything in their life, but yet they're going to spend 6 hours a day filling out sweepstakes applications. Frickin' losers.
Some did come in on Reader's Digest paper as well.
Oh, yeah. National Geographic. Like they have a glue stick, and they make an envelope out of it, right?
Yeah.
So they make an envelope out of their Arby's napkins and send them to us.
It's true. It's funny
losers.
because it's true.
Yeah, absolute
no envelope.
losers. I'm going to take such pride. If we had more time, I would totally be... We should do that live. Let's do it live on the podcast. Let's cold call and hard sell some of these people.
All right, next week maybe.
We'll bounce off each other.
Oh, man.
Hey, Pat. How's it going? This is Matt. You expressed some interest in Obsessed Garage here. Thanks for your interest. And just don't let them get a word in. You know, we have a special going on our KWS 700 Krenza pressure wash. It's at $35.99 normally. We're gonna do it for $35.98 for you today. No shipping costs, and I think you need. What kind of car do you have, Pat? Crown Vic? Yeah, Crown Vic. Those are big machines. There's a lot of paint. You really need. You know, you probably need a Rupes polisher as well. Those are on sale today as well, $449. Tell me you don't need an extra set of white polishing pads, Pat.
Yeah, we're getting lots of
What
support
happens
for
if you
this
win
idea.
this? What happens if you win the Civic? You're gonna need this stuff. I'll work on my script.
There you go. Now you got something to do this weekend. All right, so we had a question from Omni Garage. Hey, Matt, we purchased Clarity. However, even mixed at 19-1, it's incredibly streaky. Have tried on glass coated with wolves and without. Same issue on both. Any tips?
I don't know what you're doing. Maybe there's some remnants of the stuff left over. I didn't get any streaks. It's like crystal clear. I don't know.
Russell, lots of support here in the chat calling these people. Russell says he'd pay to watch that. Thanks for the rant. Live cold calling for the win.
Could you imagine a lady, you know, he wins that freaking M5, 600 horsepower M5, comes out with tennis balls on the walker. You know, we captured on video. Oh, it'd be great. I almost wish one of those losers won.
Let's see.
And then we'd make T-shirts, you know, Suck It Life T-shirt. You got the little old cat lady. She got 7 cats. And eats cream and mushroom soup every day for lunch.
Let's see. James wants to know, our buddy James, Publix James, Big Head James, how's the plan / progress for the garage giveaway install in Virginia?
Waiting on word from Sonic. Yeah, as soon as the MSS Plus stuff gets here, then we can go. I think we're waiting on a few other things. We've got to ship out some Milwaukee stuff up there. I don't know if we've ordered the Sonos and the TV and all that stuff, but did we order that stuff? Kyle gets back on Monday, so he'll finalize all that stuff, and then once we get word from Sonic, I'll book the trip. Mike will buy Mike's plane ticket, and we'll get moving on it. But Bryce and Mike Waba are going to drive up there, and we're going to shoot a really awesome video series of the whole thing. It's going to be cool.
There you go. Let's see. Oh, we have Alfredo says if he wins the Civic, he's going to trade it in for a C8.
You might have to kick in a lot of money for that. You want to part it out for sure. Yeah, we're going to need like 2 semis to deliver this thing. One for the car and one for all the stuff.
And tires and wheels.
Yeah. I might just sell some of the wheels and tires. It's just too many. We get 8 of them now. 8 different sets.
That's a lot.
Yeah. Oh, the stereo's so good. I'm gonna love it when I watch the video and have all these dum-dums, commenting about how you could have done that for this or that. You'd have no idea what you're talking about. This is the freaking amazing. It's absolutely incredible. I don't know if people are looking for a laser light show or something, but these dum-dums are like, that head unit looks terrible because you use a Metra kit. Well, why would you use something else? A Metra kit is perfect. It's like OE finish. It looks awesome. And why would you want to put the head unit somewhere else? Then you have this hole in your dash. It's stupid. You just have a flat blank panel. You put it where you can touch it. And then the kick panels look like they're factory fresh. The dead pedal still works and is in the right location. And the center image is like bang, right smack above it. Yeah, that's freaking awesome.
All right, let's see. Wayne wants to know, would you recommend buying the wheel roller that you have? Do you guys plan on selling them?
The one I have is like one of the original prototypes. It kind of spins a little crooked, but I don't know if I can live without it now. So yeah, you should get it. It's a Source Garage. We probably need to see where he's at from producing. He was making them in his garage, so I don't know if he's able to produce enough for us now. But I should probably get them and sell them in the store. Maybe if he listens to this, he can shoot me an email and tell me if we can buy 50 at a time or something like that.
Yeah, they do come in pretty handy. Lots of folks ask about that,
yeah.
where to get it.
Yep.
All right. So, thank you all for joining us today. It's about 3:30 our time. 8 p.m. Eastern time is when the video goes live.
Yep.
Tonight.
Yeah. I don't have any videos for this weekend, so I'm going to have to do something. I still have to shoot some more Inside the Hex. I tried to vlog the last 3 days. It was terrible.
Got to do the wall air. Have you done the wall air? At your dad's house yet?
Saying that. Yeah, I'll do something. I don't know. I'm gonna be video crazy the next couple of months with the Civic and the GT4 and all that. So, anyway, we'll see you guys soon.
All right, next week. Thank you for joining us.
Later.